today's Warzone video, I'm going over the top 5 best setups here after the update. A brand new update just came out that did a large nerf to the RPK and Fennec, which I'm super happy about. So we got some brand new meta contenders. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe with notifications turned on, and let's hop into this. Our first gun we're taking a look at here today is going to be the Sniper Support Chimera. This is a top tier gun to use in Warzone right now, and you guys 110% should be using. That is such a fun build to be able to use, and it's incredibly effective at those closer to medium-ish ranges here, which you should be using a Sniper Support gun for. So let's hop into it. Here's my general base sort of overview of this setup here and everything I'm going to be running on it. Now let's actually get into these attachments. First thing, the SA Leveler 55. This can help us out with that recoil control. It's not going to show us these pros and cons here just because for whatever reason they still have not fixed that here within the update. I don't really know why, but we have the SA Leveler 55. This is going to be a pretty nice attachment. Tune on this thing here is going to be a plus 0.59, a plus 0.18. After that, we're going to go up in here to the barrel section, run the 10 SA Phoenix. A massive increase to our damage range, bullet velocity, hip fire accuracy, and of course, recoil control. All really great things here to be able to have on this gun, and I highly recommend you guys actually run this. The tune on this is going to be a plus 0.42 and a plus 0.23. After that, we're going to go in here to the laser, which is the VLK Laser 7MW. Massive increase to our aim down sight speed, aiming stability, and of course, sprint to fire speed. Just such great things here to be able to have, and I highly recommend you guys run this attachment here, even on just like regular AR and SMG setup, even like sometimes LMGs. It can work really nicely on a variety of different guns. The tune on this is going to be a negative 0.39 and a negative 26.32. And then for our other attachment down below, which is going to be that 45 round mag, we got to bump it up from the base 30 to 45. That is a pretty big thing. And I definitely say that, you know, you need to have extra rounds in the magazine, especially in Warzone, where you're going to be taking on maybe 2, 3, 4 enemies at a time. Though are you going to be able to live through taking on that many enemies at a time? Probably not. But if they're not all facing you, it could be nice to be able to get multiple downs here within a single mag. And then for our final attachment, we have the Cronin Mini Pro. This is the blue dot, red dot sight here. Absolutely love this thing. This is one of my favorites to run. If I ever run a red dot sight, I'm going to be running this thing here. And this is going to make those sights just that much easier to be able to use here, since it is indeed a sniper sport, not like a close range build here for the Chimera, as there is one of those that is actually really effective as well. But this is the sniper sport version. The tune on this is going to be a negative 1.84, and all they maxed out there at a negative 2.25 for that far distance. This is my full build. Now let's move on to the next one. For our next gun up here today, we're going to be taking a look at the TAC 56. This is a top tier gun a lot of people really enjoy using right now, especially on Ashika Island, which is, you know, primarily what I'm playing right now, pretty much only exclusively what I'm playing. And also solos did just come out, so I'm pretty excited about that to be able to hop in. But the TAC 56 here is a top tier assault rifle you guys need to be using. Here's my general base overview of these attachments. You guys can actually go ahead and run what I'm running here. This is a super effective setup, so let's get into it. First thing here is going to be the Gauge 9 Mono. Sound suppression, bullet velocity, recoil smoothness, and recoil control. Overall, really great things. It's going to help make this gun more of a laser beam, which is what we want. The tune on this is going to be a plus 1.08 and a plus 0.39. After that, we're going to go down here to the underbarrel section, run the FTAC Ripper 56, aiming auto stability, hip fire accuracy, and of course recoil stabilization. You cannot go wrong with the FTAC Ripper. It is just such a good underbarrel. The tune on this is going to be a plus 0.54 and a plus 0.17. After that, we got to go down here and actually go onto the ammunition side of things and throw in the 5.56 high velocity rounds. So while this does increase your bullet velocity, it says negatively, you know, mess with your damage range. That's not really the thing with this gun, because it's not going to mess your damage range, at least in the way that you think it's going to. Because what we're going to do is we're going to tune this out here for that recoil smoothness and a negative 0.56 and also a negative 2.90 down there, because we're going to give a little bit more recoil steadiness to this build. And it's actually, even with the bullet velocity decrease, you're not going to notice it, because this thing's got such a fast bullet velocity already that you just will not notice the drop off. It's just one of those things here when you're playing the game that you will not notice. Next up, we got the FSS OLE-V laser, aim mount sight speed, aiming stability, and of course sprint to fire. We used this on our last gun, but we're using it here once again. A great attachment. The tune on this is going to be a negative 0.15 and negative 11.52. And then for our final attachment, we got to go down to the very bottom here, run the 60 round mag. So you guys have the option, if you want to run the 40 round mag, to be able to do so, as this is kind of like an aggressive build. You guys could also swap out potentially something like the high velocity rounds, or maybe you could probably swap out actually the FSS OLE laser and throw in like the AIM-OP V4 if you want to run an optic. But otherwise, this is a great setup here, which I run on Ashika Island. But that 60 round mag is going to be hugely beneficial, and you can choose between the 60 and the 40, whatever you feel is going to be better. But I personally go with the 60 because I find that to be the most beneficial for me. So that's my full build there for that. Now let's move on to our next gun. For our next gun up here today, we're going to be taking a look at a new and improved Lockman sub setup. This is one of my favorite ones to run in the game right now. Super low recoil, very easy to be able to use. It does give you some OG MP5 vibes here from Warzone 1. By the way, this thing's actually set up and looks, so let's actually hop into it. Here's my general base overview of all these attachments. Now let's get into everything. So first thing, the XRK Sandstorm. This can help us out hugely with our vertical recoil control. We don't really need to do too much in terms of our horizontal and vertical. We just more or less need to take care of that vertical because the Lockman sub loves to kind of just move up. So you guys can really easily combat that with the XRK Sandstorm. The tune on this is going to be -0.31 and a +0.25. Now let's move on down here to the underbarrel section where we are going to run the Lock Grip Precision 40 for hipfire accuracy, recoil steadiness, and aim walking steadiness. Overall, a fantastic underbarrel to be able to run. I've tried a few different things out, and this is definitely by far the best one I've had to be able to use. So I'd recommend you guys try this out. The tune on this is going to be -0.57 and -0.23. Now let's move on up in here to the VLK Laser 7MW. Not going to explain this one here once again, but you guys understand what it does. It is a good attachment. The tune on this is going to be -0.37 and -19.74. Now we got to go down here into the magazine section. We're going to be running the 40 round mag on this. So you guys have the option to go for the 50 round mag. And I used to run the 50 round mag on a previous build of my Lockman sub. Actually, that I just uploaded here yesterday. It's the time making this video. But you guys can definitely switch over to the 40 round mag, as I've ran it just like this here with the 40. And with this specific build, it works out fantastic. So you don't got nothing to worry about there. You guys can also try it with the 50, though I don't have any personal experience running this specific build with the 50 and seeing if it's too slow or not. But the 40 works out great. And for our final attachment, we got the Lockman TCG10. This can help us out with recoil control. Just gotta stabilize it out ever so slightly. You guys don't necessarily have to run this. You guys can always try the the Cronus grip or something like that if you want some more flinch resistance. But otherwise, I believe this to be a great option, so we're gonna go ahead and run this. The tune on this thing here is gonna be a +0.65 and a -0.20. So that is gonna be my full build there for the Lockman sub. Give it a shot. For next one up here today, we're gonna be taking a look at the ISO Hemlock. This is gonna be probably the top tier meta AR to use in Warzone / Ashika Island right now. I'd highly recommend you guys level this thing up if you've not leveled it up, unlock it if you have not unlocked it, and get these attachments going, because this is a top tier gun you guys have to have on your loadouts. Here's my general base overview of this gun. Now let's actually hop into these attachments here and so you guys can understand why I'm running what I am. So the Harbinger D20, this is gonna make this gun so much more effective at range, stabilize out the recoil, all the good stuff, and increase our bullet velocity. So really great things here to be able to have on this gun. The tune on that is gonna be a +0.99 to +0.65, so we gotta love that. And then let's move up in here to the barrel section, the Fielder T50. So this is the largest barrel out there for this gun for that increase in damage range, bullet velocity, hipfire accuracy, and of course recoil control. Really great shit here to be able to have on this gun, and I definitely recommend for you guys to be able to have the Fielder T50. I mean, it's the Fielder. I mean, it's just the biggest barrel out there, and it's going to be the most effective one to be able to use. The tune on this is going to be a +0.18 and -0.22. Now let's actually go on down here to the underbarrel section for the F-Tac Gripper 56. Aiming auto stability, fire accuracy, and of course recoil stabilization. This and the VLK Laser 7MW, they make a lot of appearances here in these videos just because there's such great attachments universally, but this is another one of those right there. The tune on this is going to be a -0.57 and a +0.27. And now let's move on down here to the magazine, which is going to be that 45 round mag. This only having a 45 round mag kind of reminds me of the CR56 AMAX from Warzone 1 because it was a very hard hitting gun. It didn't have a 60 round mag, and this is also a hard hitting gun. It does not have a 60 round mag. But my general point to that is that the 45 round mag is going to be something we have to have on this gun. We can't go for the base 30. We need the 45 as this is your primary AR, and you got to be able to throw rounds down range. For our last attachment here, we're going to throw in the AIM-OP V4. This is going to be just a great precision sight here. It's not going to give you too much magnification. It's going to be slightly more than like a red dot almost, but it's just going to keep you a little bit more accurate when you're trying to take people out of those ranges. And I'd say that if you actually cannot see someone through this sight anymore, or it's harder to be able to pick them off, that probably means that is like a little bit farther outside of your gun's range than you should be like engaging with, and you should probably get a little bit closer. So that's kind of like where that's at. But overall, great sight. And the tune on this thing here is going to be a -1.06 and a -1.65. So that is going to be my full build there. And for our last video today, we're going to be taking a look at the Vaznev 9K. This is a gun I think people just do not understand how good it is. They saw it got its habit of a nerf here within one of the updates, and they don't realize that this thing is still dominating at close range here with this specific build. So let's give you guys the build. So here's my general overview of my attachments for the Vaznev 9K. This is actually one of my personal favorite guns to run in Warzone. I was having a lot of great success running around with it, and I think I was catching a lot of people off guard with that. So first thing on here is going to be the Bruin Cubic Comp. So horizontal vertical recoil control, Just great attachment. Got to be able to stabilize the gun out, as this gun has a little bit of that interesting vertical, you know, so we got to, you know, really make sure we're stabilizing, especially since we don't have an underbarrel. The tune on this is going to be negative 0.28 and a plus 0.27. Now let's go up in here to the laser section for the FSS OLE. This is, like I said, just a great attachment, so I don't gotta explain it too much, so I'll just leave you guys with that. The tune on this is gonna be a negative 0.16 and negative 18.10. Now we gotta go down here to the 45 round mag here below and throw on that 45 round mag, just because, I mean, the 45 is so good. You guys definitely need a bigger magazine when you come into those close quarter situations. Pretty much every single SMG build or even an AR build, you always throw an extended magazine. It just makes sense here in Warzone, even regardless if you're playing like solos, you just should have an extra bit of ammo in your mag. After that, we're gonna go up in here to the True Tac grip, sprint to fire and aim down sight speed. This is just such a great grip here. I love to be able to run this thing. The tune on this is gonna be a negative 0.45 and a negative 0.17. And then for our last attachment, we got the Marquise R7 stock for that crouch movement speed, sprint speed, and aim down sight speed. So a top tier attachment to be able to run. This thing works out super well, and I definitely recommend it. And also the tune on this is gonna be a negative 1.55 and also another negative 1.55. So there's that. That's my full build there. That's been my top 5. You guys enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe, check out these other videos here on screen, and just remember to look at Don't Be Randy, and I'm out. Peace.